So working hypothesis is if we can get these legumes and rhizobia to do their thing in microgravity and the harsh conditions of the space station, elevated carbon dioxide, elevated temperatures, and some of the students were actually looking at the opposite extreme, cold temperatures, which is great because that's something we got to deal with Mars. Yeah, what's your opinion? You want to weigh in on whether that could be a start to the organic amendments that we would need in the soil, in the regolith?
I think so. And I think it's also changing the whole mindset almost of how you think about plants and what you're growing and how you're growing it. And I know when we talk about genetic modification of crops here on the earth, it makes people really nervous. Um, but when you think of it, all plants have gone through genetic modification. It's called evolution. And so now you're
Selective
trying to,
breeding.
yeah, now we're trying to grow plants in microgravity. And I really like for kids to think about an experiment. If you think about a wheat, how much of that wheat plant is structurally the way it is because it has to fight against gravity every day of its life. It has to fight against rain and wind and everything else. It's putting all this energy of plantedness into things that you don't need in space. There's no wind. There's no gravity. So what would a plant be, a wheat, a rhizome, a legume, what would it need without gravity? And it needs a lot less, and it needs some different things. So then you go to Mars and you say, okay, 1/3 gravity, slightly different soil, no wind, a little bit of wind, but again, making sure we all discount the Martian, even though there's wind. The
Yeah,
atmosphere
that atmospheric density's got a little bit of a
the atmospheric density is very low. So a plant doesn't have to have all this structure to fight against wind. It doesn't need it anymore. And so that's what I really love about using the space station as an opportunity to say, how can we start moving down? Because I can't wait 20 million years to evolve a Mars plant or a space plant that we're going to need on the way to Mars. How do I think about the characteristics of a plant and what might need to be genetically modified? And then how do I need to grow it differently? But how do I put all that efficiency, all that energy into producing food for humans? So don't waste time and energy with all this other stuff. Put all that into rapid production of seed or fruit or whatever it is that we want to eat.